Hey guys, so today we have someone called Georgia coming in who will be giving us self-love practices and helping us to connect with our inner child through positive affirmation. So our resource of the week is Georgia. Is she on?
Hey, I'm here.
Hi.
How
Thank
are
you
you?
for coming to Mindset Lab.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
No worries. How's your mindset today?
My mindset is calm. Yeah, I feel pretty calm and content. I'm looking forward to this.
Amazing. So Georgia, tell us, what is it that you do? And most importantly, the why behind why you do it.
Cool. So I'm Georgia. I also go by Self Care Queen on social media. I talk a lot about self-care, self-love, my experience with my own mental health and my personal experiences. And I do it because I want to help people. I want people to feel like they're not alone, and that even if you do have a mental health condition or a diagnosis, or if you're just struggling with anxiety, that you can actually do life, you can take part in life no matter what your diagnosis is or your label. Because I often feel like people are pigeonholed and kind of cornered for certain diagnoses, particularly personality disorders. So I kind of want to stamp that stigma out and prove to people that we all can do this if we just kind of listen and learn about our own minds and how amazing they are and how powerful they are. So that's why I kind of do what I do.
Amazing. So what can you share with us today about any self-love practices that you do that help you maintain a positive mindset and to promote your well-being?
So I kind of want to talk about affirmation cards. I've got some here. I'll show you them in a minute. But I often have kind of like negative, well, not negative thoughts because that's a judgment, but I often have thoughts of like sadness, or sometimes I might feel suicidal. And I think it's really important for me to kind of tap back into in that moment that I'm safe, because my mind can often chatter away and say you're not safe or you're in danger, when actually I am actually safe and grounded. So I've made these cards and I carry them around. I'm in my bag. I also have reminders on my phone, and you can put them around your bedroom, but they're just like short reminders that like you are safe. I don't know if this is the right way around. I hope
It is.
But yeah, this one literally simply says I am safe, because in that moment when my mind's saying you're in danger, you can't do it, no one likes you, no one loves you, etc., etc., I know it's so simple, but this really helps me to just remind me that I'm safe. The next one says my body is calm. Often my body feels really like stressed out, and I feel very out of my body. So by reading this, I'm just like, yes, I am grounded, I'm safe, my body is calm and well. The next one says I can hold myself. So I don't know about anybody else, but I love hugs. I love feeling just like held. I love like just physical contact because it just makes me feel safe. But obviously often because of this virus and stuff, like I haven't had a hug in like so long. So this really, thank you. So this really reminds me that I can actually hold myself, and I'll just literally sometimes do this or squeeze my hands, or just tap my legs, tap my body to remind me that I can actually hold myself. And it sounds so simple, but in that moment when my brain's going off, it really helps me just bring myself back. The last one I'm going to share with you is I am in control. So often my head says you can't problem solve, you can't use your DBT skills, they won't work, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I actually know I can. Yeah. So this just says I am in control because I know I can take control of my mind and use the skills that I've learned. So I would really encourage you guys to make these, or put them on post-it notes, put them on your phone, and don't make them too wordy. Just kind of make them really simple, like I am safe, or I am loved, or I am heard. Because when you're in that moment, it can really help just kind of center yourself.
Yeah. So do you use those affirmation every day, or do you only use it when you're in a state where you feel that you're out of control?
So I try and use them every day. So when I wake up, I will just I've got some on my bedroom wall as well, kind of different ones, because sometimes I do wake up with these thoughts in my head, like you can't do it, da, 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 da. So I just kind of say them out loud, or say them in your head, but I like to look in the mirror and say them to myself. And then I also have these in my bag, and in my like crisis self-soothe box that I have. I have them all around the house, just so any moment I can read them and remind myself. But I think it is really important to kind of tap back into what it is that you need in that moment. Like when I was writing these, I was writing them in wise mind. So I was thinking, when I am in a moment in emotion mind, what would I really want to hear from somebody else, or a friend, or from my therapist? So I've thought about that in wise mind, and I've done this activity then. So I can use it in wise mind, in emotion mind, and reasonable mind. But they're very versatile. So I would really encourage you all to make your own and share them.
It's really needed because people find it hard to affirm themselves and speak kind to themselves. So that is a very practical thing that we should do.
And I'm not going to like sit here and tell you that, oh, if you make these, that voice goes. It totally doesn't. Like that, this voice comes in my head at least once a day. It's really irritating, but I know that I can talk back to the voice with these words, and I don't have to be like, oh, go away, I hate you. Just I'm in control. I'm safe. You just kind of. That voice has that voice, and you have that voice. Just try and kind of talk back to it with kind of nice words and kindness. Yeah,
it's like the voice will be there, but you minimize the sound of it by with the affirmation. We spoke earlier, and you mentioned the inner child. So can you touch on what does it mean to have self-love for your inner child?
So I kind of picture my inner child as like my younger self, kind of like I guess age 5, and I kind of look at my inner child like that, and I kind of think, what would I really want my inner child to know? How can I nurture my inner child? Because some days I will wake up and I will literally do the whole day and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten all day, or I haven't drank any water. So it's really important to kind of treat yourself sometimes like you're treating a child. So like, okay, I'm going to eat at this time, I'm going to drink at this, I'm going to plan my day, I'm going to plan my meals. And sometimes treating your inner child. So like in this moment, some days I find really challenging, and I have like fish fingers and chicken dippers in the freezer, like my kind of crisis foods. Like if I can't leave the house that day, what does my inner child need in that moment? So it's about kind of pushing your inner child as well into, no, you can go out, no, you can do that, but then also kind of knowing your limits as well. So I often write letters to my inner child saying that I love you and I care about you and I want to look after you. That's a really good reminder for myself, because often I can be really harsh on myself and think, oh, if I had a better childhood, I wouldn't be like this, or if this happened, I wouldn't. But looking in the past or whatever isn't very cognitive. We have to focus on the present and focus what we can do in that moment. So by just reminding yourself that we all have a child in us, that we all need to look after ourselves in that way is really important. So connect with your inner child more, like be playful. Like sometimes I'll literally download a game on my phone and play it, or I'll do some colouring in and just kind of tap into what I like to do as a child.
So do you pay attention to your inner child daily? The same question that I asked regarding affirmation. Do you speak to your inner child every day? Do you speak to your inner child when you're stressed? Or do you speak to your inner child when you're, out of control? When do you acknowledge your inner child?
I feel like my inner child is with me always, but I can often forget it. So I often, when I am in a like dip or like a low moment or having like a crisis moment, I'll say, no, you can do it. We're going to take that out of the freezer, we're going to put it on a tray, and I literally will talk myself through putting something in the oven, or okay, we're going to put my boots on, we're going to go out, we're going to get wrapped up, we're going to go for a walk. And I say, I can do it, you can do it, because it is often like my inner child throws a tantrum sometimes, like you can't do it, like I'm powerless, no one can help you. But at the end of the day, I know I'm the only one that can help myself. I've learned all the skills in therapy, so it's about really implementing that and really kind of making friends with that inner child. Maybe draw a picture of it, what your inner child looks like, or write letters, how I do, but just kind of explore what ways you can connect with that part of yourself, instead of pushing it away, just kind of accepting it.
That makes sense, because it's almost like parenting yourself, isn't it?
It is, definitely. It is self-parenting. Like I often think in the future I would really love kids, so how would I wouldn't just literally let my child not eat all day or just eat chocolate all day. So it's about really learning how to nourish yourself, your mind and your body.
And then it's easier to then love others in that
way. Exactly, from that place.
If you're filling up your own love tank, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any resources that you tend to look at? Any resources that you have that you can share with the listeners? out on right now, so they can, you know, go
and
dig
look
up.
at it. So at the moment, I've got my own resource. It's a self-care advent calendar. So it's something small each day that you can do. It's on my Instagram account, which is @selfcarequeen. But also I love watching TED Talks as well, because they're really short. So I really love Brené Brown's one on vulnerability. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. It's like 20 minutes, but I think immersing yourself in something and like a real person's story can really help as well.
Thank you so much, Georgia. I know it's been so quick.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. And guys, please check her out at Self-Care Queen on Instagram.
Yeah.
And definitely do those affirmation notes and get to share. Nurture your inner child, guys. Okay. I'm in control. That's the
Thank
first
you.
thing. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you. Bye, Georgia.